guys, my name is Yasmin and welcome to my beauty space. This is my first video on my channel and I'm so excited to show you this look. Today I did my beautiful sister Yanti's makeup. I wanted to create a bright and glowy look for the spring with a pop of color. So if you want to see how I created this look, then please keep watching. So I'm starting off by priming her face with the Maybelline face primer. This is one of my favorite primers because it really blurs the skin and it literally feels like butter. It's very important to use a primer because it creates a smooth base to your makeup. It also helps control oil and reduces the appearance of pores or fine lines. I'll also link all the products that I used today in the description box below for you. Okay, so next I'm going to be cleaning up underneath her eyebrows. Unfortunately, I didn't have her color to fill in her eyebrows, so I just focused on highlighting underneath her eyebrow to conceal any hairs and just make it look more neat. I usually use the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color Ebony. However, since she has lighter eyebrows, I would probably use either the color Dark Brown or Chocolate. And then I'm going to be using the concealer by Too Faced Born This Way, and that's in the color Beige. Usually you want to use like a concealer that's a little bit lighter than your complexion, but she preferred to go with a more natural look, so I'm kind of using a concealer that's a little closer to her skin tone. Either way, it's still a little bit brighter, so it's definitely gonna do the trick when it comes to highlighting. Okay, so now I'm going to prime her eyelid using the Pro Filter Concealer by Fenty Beauty. I believe this is the shade 300, which is about probably a good 2 shades lighter than her skin complexion. This is going to act as an eyeshadow base, so it's going to basically eliminate any discoloration that she might have and create a blank canvas for her eye makeup. It's a little trick. You really don't need to use primer. The concealer is going to act like that, and it's going to help keep her makeup, her eyeshadow on longer. Okay, so after I conceal, I am going to now set the concealer in place, and I'm going to be using the Mercier Transluscent powder. I love this powder. This is like a holy grail. I feel like this is the best setting powder out there, but you know, there's a lot of other great setting powders. I just personally think that this is solid. But yeah, so I'm just going to prime both of her eyelids, or set both of her eyelids, and this is also going to help prevent creasing on her eyelids and create kind of a smooth base for when we do apply the eyeshadow. Okay, so to start her eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the 3503 Fierce by Nature palette by Morphe, and I'm going to go in with the color Consume. This is like a pale orange. It's giving me a lot of spring vibes, so I definitely wanted to use this color. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in the crease, and you're going to start blending in the crease first, and then eventually you're going to blend this all over her lid. I also make sure that I get like the outer corner of her eye as well. You just want to make sure everything is blended. I'm going to link all the brushes that I used and the palettes that I used in the description box below. But honestly, when I tell you this is the easiest makeup look, I only use, I believe, like 2 eyeshadow colors. So if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, I think this would be perfect for you. So lastly, I'm going to be highlighting the brow bone with like a bone color. I use the color Trance in this palette, and this is really important because it's just going to make the look appear more precise and clean. Okay, and now that we have the second eye done, I'm going to be brushing off any excess eyeshadow that might have fallen. And then we are finally getting into the face, my favorite part. So I'm using the Nars Radiant Longwear Foundation, and I'm using the color Syracuse. And I'm just going to be blending that in with a beauty blender. As you can see, she has flawless skin. I mean, I don't even think there's a blemish in sight. But yeah, I love doing her makeup because her skin is just so smooth, and I always feel like she has the perfect base. But yeah, so I'm just going to be blending that in and making sure that we cover every spot. She doesn't really need any, like, a heavy amount of foundation, so I didn't really use that much. Okay, so now we're moving on to concealer. Today I am using the Pro Filt'r Concealer Foundation by Fenty Beauty, and we're using the shade 300, which is the same shade that we used to prime her eyes. I wanted to use a brighter concealer. I know I said that she likes to go for natural looks, but for this particular makeup tutorial, she kind of got out of her comfort zone a little and allowed me to use a brighter colored concealer. So yeah, so I'm just going to be blending in with the beauty blender. So of course you're going to highlight underneath your eyes, on the cupid's bow, your chin, your forehead. I highlighted a little bit on the tip of her nose as well, the bridge of her nose. So these are all the spots that you basically just want to enhance, and also make sure that you blend pretty well under the eyelids so that there's no creasing. But I'll talk about that a little bit later on how to eliminate creasing. Okay, so now we're getting into the fun part. We're going to be contouring her face finally. So I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Wear Concealer in the shade Toffee. I chose the shade because she doesn't really have a tan, so I wanted to go with something that had more of a cooler undertone. If she did have a tan, I would probably go a shade up from that, which has a more warmer undertone. So the whole point of contouring your face is to bring out or define your best features. In the past, I feel like when contouring first came out, it was a way to completely alter the way you looked. But nowadays, I feel like we're embracing our natural look. So we're going to be contouring 4 areas, and that would be the temple, the bridge of your nose, the cheekbones, and the jawline. So for the temple, we're just kind of like adding more definition, making your face shape be a little more round. And then for the cheekbones, we all know about chiseled cheekbones. That's like the end thing, but that's going to do exactly what it sounds like. It's going to chisel your cheekbones. It's going to add more definition. Same thing goes for the jawline. If you have a double chin, it'll disguise that. It basically just separates the face from the neck. And then for the nose, it's just going to add a little more definition. You don't want to make it too slim because it's going to look noticeable. I like natural looks, so I'm just going to define it. Also, just a little tip. I like to have my clients, like when I'm contouring their jawline, I like to have them make the fish face because it just makes it easier for me to see where to contour. So just a little fun fact. And voila, we're done contouring. But just after like a contour, I like to just use like a beauty blender to just blend like the contour and the concealer, make sure that there's no like harsh lines before I start to set everything in place. Okay, so moving on, now we're going to be setting the concealer in place, and I'm going to be using the Holy Grail Mercier Transluscent powder. You know I had to do it again. But no, yeah, we're just basically going to be setting underneath the eyelids, and this is going to help prevent creasing. We're going to set everywhere we concealed. So that would be the forehead, the bridge of the nose, underneath the underneath the eyelids, the chin, the cupid's bow. And then I also like to set like right underneath where I contoured, just to like define it a little bit more. I know that she looks like kind of crazy right now, almost like a powdered donut, but trust me, this is going to help control the oil and set everything in place. It's really important to do this on your oily girls because it's going to manage the oil better so that the makeup will last longer and just not look like everything is kind of breaking apart and just super shiny. For my sister, she's pretty oily, but we weren't going anywhere, so I didn't have to bake for her. Baking is just when you're keeping the translucent powder on your face for a couple of extra minutes, just so that it could really like manage like the oils on your face a little bit better and prevent you from getting oily towards the end of the day. So I didn't have to do that for her because we weren't going anywhere, but if we were, I would. So I'm basically just taking a fluffy brush and we're going to be brushing all the excess powder away. Also, I forgot to add that when I'm brushing the excess translucent powder away, I'm also using the Sephora Compact Matte Perfection Powder Foundation to kind of like help blend the like concealer in with the contour, and it's going to add a little bit more color back to your face. This is the shade 48 Golden Almond. I really like that shade. It's really, really comfortable on the face. Okay, so now we're going to be contouring the nose, and I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty bronzer to contour the nose, and this is it's a Sunstalker bronzer, but it's in the shade Island Ting. So you're basically just going to go down the bridge of the nose and you're going to contour it, and then I'm using another like flat brush just to blend the nose contour in. Moving on, we're going to be bronzing her skin, so I'm going to be using the same bronzer I used to contour her nose, and we're going to be bronzing the cheekbones, we're going to be bronzing the forehead and the jawline. We're bronzing everywhere where we contoured, and this is just going to add more color to her face. Make sure that when you are contouring the jawline, you get the neck as well, just so everything is perfectly blended in. Now I'm going to be carving out her cheekbones. I'm going to be using the Mercier Transluscent powder to do that. This is just going to make everything look more precise and more chiseled. So I'm just using a fluffy brush to blend that out and brush away all the translucent powder, and as you can see, it already looks so much more defined. So now I'm going to be using the color Jada, and this is in the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is her first palette, I believe. So I'm going to be using this color to basically buff underneath the eye, and this is going to be our splash of color that I was telling you about in the beginning, which I absolutely love. I think this is just, it really does complete the whole spring look. So now I'm just going to be taking a smaller brush just to blend the inner corner. The color blue, like that shade that I use, it's really vibrant, but it also like has a lot of fallout. Well, not a lot, but it has some fallout, so I just wanted to make sure that it didn't smudge in any other area. So I'm going to be using that same smaller brush to highlight the inner corner. And to highlight, I'm using Ofra Causemetics highlighter in Rodeo Drive. So like I said before, there was a little bit of fallout. So when that happens, just take a brush and just brush it away. For the cheeks, for the blush, I'm going to be using Nars in the color Torrid. It's more like a peachy pink color, so You're just going to basically apply that to the cheekbones, and I usually have my client like smile just to make it easier for me to apply directly to the cheekbones. Also, I went in with another color for the cheeks. I just used like a orange shade that I had in one of my palettes. I think it was like a birthday palette that I got, but any orange shade will do, like a subtle orange, and this is just going to make the look appear extra like bright and bring out those coral colors in the eye. I couldn't wait to get to this part. This is my favorite part because my sister hates this part. It's the setting spray. I used the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and I think I used the charcoal. I think there's like two. There's like a charcoal and there's another one. I'm blinking, I can't remember, but it's in a black bottle. But yeah, she hates this part because she's like, you spray so much. And I'm like, that is how your makeup lasts. You have to spray a lot. All right, so after you let that dry, you're gonna go in with highlighter, which is my favorite part personally. This is like literally my favorite part when I apply my own makeup and when I apply other people's makeup. But today I'm gonna be using the Ofra Causemetics in Rodeo Drive, and you're gonna highlight the tip of your nose, the Cupid's bow, and then you're gonna highlight your cheekbones, which is my favorite part. It just looks extra glowy and perfect. So now I'm also going to be highlighting the brow bone, and I'm going to be using that same highlighter. This is just going to make your brows pop, and it's just going to look extra precise and really clean. Okay, so we're going to set our face one more time with the same Milani setting spray, and this is just going to make the highlight pop a little bit more. Of course, she had to like brace herself. Dramatic. Okay, so now I'm going to be applying mascara, and today I'm using the Thrive Causemetics mascara, and I believe this is the eyelash extension. I believe it's eyelash extension, yeah. But it actually looks like extensions. Like, this is probably one of the best mascaras that I've used, and I got this in an Ipsy box, so I would definitely recommend it. So this is just a little close-up. I just wanted you guys to see how it extended her lashes. Like, it really does. It does a really good job. She doesn't really have very noticeable eyelashes, just like I don't. So this definitely did the trick. So for her lips, I'm going to be lining her lips using MAC's lip pencil in the color Chesnut. She has like decent sized lips, but she definitely would like more of like a pout. So I kind of made sure to overline the top just a little bit because I think she wants like her top lip to look a little bit more pouty. I was super shaky when lining her lips, so please don't judge me. But I'm going to basically be moisturizing her lips using just like a regular chapstick, regular moisturizer, and that's going to prep my lip, or her lips, sorry, for the lipstick. So I'm going to be using like a nudish pink color for her lips, and I'm using a lip gloss. I believe I used the Morphe lip gloss. I cannot remember the shade off the top of my head, but trust me, I'll put all of the items that I used in the description box below. So now I'm just using another lip gloss. I'm using the NYX lip gloss, and I believe it's in the color Praline, I want to say. And I'm just using this to kind of top it off and make it look extra shiny and kind of add a little bit more of like a nudie color to it. But as you can see, it just looks so super glossy, super defined. So that completes the final look. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!